with Epstein. Here's the House Oversight Committee ranking member Robert Garcia.
Mr. Gates also was very clear that he was never introduced to women or girls or anyone underage by Mr. Epstein, and he made that clear multiple times, but he'll continue to be asked about those emails, so that was brought up.
Recently, Gates apologized to staff at the Gates Foundation over his ties to Epstein. The Gates Foundation is headquartered in Seattle.
Morgan Ashley, Tori Smith, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local Pulse Prime.
Well, tonight we are getting a final look at the Maple Street Bridge before it's shut down completely for 2 weeks for a grind and overlay project. That was supposed to happen in 2025, but it was delayed due to an industry strike. It's common route for many to get into or out of downtown after a long day. Good evening. Thanks for being here for Pulse Prime. I'm Morgan Ashley. So here's a look at the detours that you can expect through June 25th. Drivers headed northbound will detour at 4th Avenue, head east to Lincoln or Division Streets to continue north. Southbound drivers will detour at Boone Avenue and head to east, actually to Monroe or Division to continue south. NonStop Local's Rachel Turcotte joins us here in studio. Rachel, you did get some more information from the city on really what prompted the closure.
Yeah, Morgan. So the city says that this closure is necessary to allow Public Works to complete this grind and overlay project that was put on pause last year due to industry strikes. And they also explain that the complete closure of the bridge allows the maximum safety for construction workers and minimizes the amount of overall obstruction time.
The geography on that south side doesn't allow us to kind of swap lanes. It's a very tight area for the equipment and the workers, so for worker safety. And then secondly, if we close the whole thing, we can get it done much quicker. So we're sacrificing time, or the entire closure for less time of impact.
Davis also says that the goal is to complete the job before Hoop Fest, as she explains the grind and overlay project being a straightforward process.
The grind and overlay that we are doing has been on the list for a while. That section needed a good grind and overlay resurfacing. And again, it was supposed to be done last year, but we couldn't get it done given the industry strike.
The city will have detours clearly marked, but if you want to take a closer look tonight, we do have those detour maps posted right now on our website. I'll send it back to you, Morgan.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Turning our attention to the weather forecast now, you're looking at a time lapse our director captured this afternoon. A typical late spring day in the inland northwest. A little bit of rain, a little wind, and partly cloudy skies. NonStop Local Chief Weather Forecaster Leslie Lowe's in the Weather Center tonight.
Daytime highs today topping out at 65 degrees, so a bit below our averages for this time of the year. As for our overnight lows, sunset tonight at 8:46. It has been blustery throughout the afternoon, continuing to see some of those wind gusts over towards central parts of Washington. The good news is winds will slowly die down as we head overnight tonight. We've also been catching the outer edges of this system that is pushing through Alberta into Montana. That's where we've seen the strongest of storms, but you can see some of that spotty shower activity, especially over towards North Idaho. Again, starting to kind of fizzle out as we get you into the overnights. We'll be left under mostly cloudy skies for tonight. Overnight lows, though, going to be on the chilly side once again, especially for our friends up across the northern mountains. So if you've got sensitive plants, make sure you cover those up. Colville, Chewelah, Republic, Kettle Falls, Ione, all looking for some of those overnight lows near freezing. A full look at that weather forecast and a warm up on the way when I see you back here in minutes.
Well, across the Northwest now, a Yakima corrections officer has been arrested on domestic violence charges and is now out of jail after appearing in front of a judge today. You're looking at 24-year-old Maximilian Moroni-Necki, who faces charges of fourth-degree assault, unlawful imprisonment, and interfering with reporting domestic violence. A judge has ordered his release under supervision while this case continues.
If you don't check in, you don't follow requirements, you're going to find there's a warrant for your arrest, you're going to find yourself back in custody.
Investigators say that he assaulted his girlfriend and prevented her from calling 911 by making threats to her. He was ordered to have no contact with the alleged victim and to surrender any guns while this case is pending. He will be back in court June 18th.
You got your ID on you real quick?
No, I don't.
You're not shutting the door, you're not free to leave.
Yeah, I am.
You're not putting your shoes on for, you're not going anywhere.
And why is that, sir?
Why? Because you're refusing to tell me who you are, and you're probably going to end up going to jail.
Oh, for not giving you my name?
Yep.
So you just watched a tense interaction between Spokane County Sheriff's Deputy Clay Hilton and at the time 62-year-old Kevin Hinton that ended in violence moments later. Now the former deputy is in questions preparing to be judged in Spokane Superior Court. The body camera footage from that night is hard to watch. Hinton ended up with broken ribs, a punctured lung, and mental trauma. Jury selection started today for jurors who will ultimately decide if Hilton committed second-degree assault and made false statements to police. Here is NonStop Local's Belle Lewis.
Former Spokane County Sheriff's Office Deputy Clay Hilton is currently facing 2 charges. One for second-degree assault, which is a Class B felony punishable by a maximum of 10 years in prison and a fine of $20,000. And Hilton also facing a gross misdemeanor charge for false swearing, which is when someone makes a statement they knew to be false under oath. The maximum penalty is 364 days imprisonment and or a $5,000 fine. But let's go back to August 14th, 2023, the date of the incident. Right now, you are watching body cam footage. Now, according to court documents and a review conducted by the Spokane Police Department at the request of Sheriff John Knowles, Clay Hilton was allegedly on patrol for the Spokane Valley Police Department when he encountered Kevin Hinton's vehicle at a park. Court documents then allege that Hilton approached the vehicle and the 2 men exchanged words. At one point, body cameras appear to show Clay Hilton saying to Kevin Hinton that he was, quote, going to jail. Then Hilton appeared to place Hinton under arrest, as you see in the body cam footage on your screen right now. Court documents allege that Hilton grabbed Hinton's head and struck him several times, resulting in severe facial bruising and bleeding, as well as cracked ribs and a flail chest. Now, an investigation was launched into the incident, resulting in these charges, and now the trial date finally here. It does appear, according to witness list, that Kevin Hinton, who was injured in the altercation, will take the stand. Opening statements are expected to begin Monday. Reporting in studio, Belle Lewis, NonStop Local.
Well, the Spokane County Medical Examiner confirmed the identity and cause of death for the woman shot and killed in North Spokane on Sunday. 41-year-old Rachel Bollinger suffered a gunshot wound to the chest. It was ruled a homicide. Police arrested 42-year-old Josiah Bollinger several blocks away from the home where the shooting happened and booked him into the Spokane County Jail. He will go in front of a judge for his arraignment tomorrow at 3 p.m. Facing second-degree murder charges, he's being held on a $1 million bond.
No community should have a data center forced into it that is not comfortable with it.
Well, tracking data centers now, Congressman Michael Baumgartner discussed the centers in a call with the media this morning. This afternoon, 3 city council members in Spokane put forth an ordinance banning data centers within city limits. His comments come days after Vista announced that it was negotiating with an unnamed company to bring a data center to the area. It would require the power company to provide up to 500 megawatts to the center by 2032 and expand its grid to meet the demand. We asked the congressman about the plans, and he says he believes congressional oversight is needed to ensure the centers are built correctly, adding taxpayers are protected from electricity and water rate increases. He didn't elaborate, but he did say he had legislation to that effect and will continue to work on these issues. The congressman also said it's important to keep the United States keep pace with China on AI for both national security as well as quality of life.
And there's also some really promising aspects like medical discoveries and early diagnostics of cancer. There's a lot of chronic diseases. You can think about where there just hasn't been amount of clinical study being able to be done, and that using supercomputers to connect the dots, understand systems better, we can make people help people live healthier lives.
Avista said because of the terms of the agreement, they can't identify the company or the location of the proposed center. Because of that, the Spokane Riverkeeper told us the potential impacts are hard to speculate with so little information. Well, we are less than 24 hours from the start of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and Spokane has World Cup fever as Egypt calls the Lilac City home during this tournament. Austin Getz joins us now. We finally got our first look at the team on the field today.
Yeah, at long last, Morgan. It's something that is still pretty surreal, pretty hard to wrap your head around. One of the best soccer teams in the entire world calling Spokane their temporary home, and a chance today for a handful of people to see them practice live. It was an overcast and sometimes a bit rainy day at Gonzaga's Luger Field this afternoon, but that didn't keep those fans away. The limited number of tickets that were allotted to attend the practice were all used up as global superstar Mo Salah and the Egypt team went through some light training, and you could see the level of talent it takes to earn a spot on a national team right away, as Salah and company dazzling fans just every single time they touch the ball. The Gonzaga impact was evident as well. GU President Katia Passerini naming the team honorary Zags, and numerous Bulldog student athlete and head coaches also made appearances. Now, Morgan, unfortunately, we didn't get to hear from any of the players today. A team representative was telling us there might be a press conference later this week, but we did talk to someone who is quite familiar with playing at Luger Field, and we'll hear from them when we're coming back up a little bit later.
All right, sounds good. We look forward to it. Still to come here tonight on Pulse Prime, a serious mental health crisis impacting 1 in 5 U.S. adults and 1 in 5 kids. A new program in Benton County is hoping to meet those kids where they are. Brendan Jen has that story coming up. And then after a cooler, gusty day with some brief rain showers, NonStop Local Chief Weather Forecaster Leslie Lowe is tracking the forecast as we approach the weekend. Well, right now the United States is experiencing a mental health crisis. That is according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Recent data shows people of all ages suffer from mental health issues, but young people are most at risk. NonStop Local's Brendan Jen spoke with Benton County officials and learned how they are working to keep our youth safe.
There's been a growing need for behavioral health services locally and across the country.
Mental health has become a growing issue for people of all ages. Benton County is now partnering with Handspring Health, a virtual mental health clinic, to offer free care to residents aged 8 through 29.
Handspring Health, they have therapists, like I said, available not just during the school day, but they have therapists available in the evening. They do have some Saturday sessions. They do have Spanish therapists. Those do fill up pretty fast, but they do have that option.
Tula Jackson, Benton County Behavioral Health Coordinator, says the program is designed to reduce cost and accessibility barriers to mental health services.
Behavioral health needs don't just start at a certain age range. We are seeing younger kids with behavioral health needs, and then that goes into adulthood as well. It's not one size fits all. Not every behavioral health need looks the same for each individual.
The county will cover the full cost of up to 12 therapy sessions. The program first started in April and is still in the early stages of delivering care.
Benton County has allocated $50,000 from the Behavioral Health Fund, which comes from the mental health sales tax in Benton County.
Once enrolled, participants complete an intake process online and are matched with a therapist. The county has a full list of resources on their website.
We want people to know that there is help available, and we want to support our community in those needs.
In Kennewick, Brendan Jin, NonStop Local.
Well, sharing the good tonight, Street Music Week is underway in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Musicians are performing on city streets with tip jars, and it's all going to a good cause. NonStop Local's Jared Cottingham's in Spokane to show us what Music Week has to offer.
It's the 24th annual Street Music Week, and all of these donations go straight to Second Harvest, donating thousands of meals to people in need. And so musicians show up to any of the 4 locations posted with their instrument or even with their vocals to showcase to the public. And the public can donate, come drop their money off, as well as donate online. Joining me here this morning is Nelia and Ivy. They are musicians. They've been performing for 13 years, since they were just little girls. Ladies, how beautiful. If you don't mind, if I ask you a couple of questions, please share with the musicians who may be on the edge to coming to this event and showing up for an hour of their time.
It's really great. You get to raise money for Second Harvest, and you get to play music, which is really fun. And yeah.
Thanks, Ivy.
And you don't have to be very good. We're all just out here playing on the street. It's not a huge formal event, so it's really fun.
Right, it's not necessarily an American Idol, tryout or okay, Alicia Keys debut, anything like that. So you show up with your instrument, they give you a badge, and then as well as a bucket behind us right here. And whenever you see the sign, you're at the right place, and you go out wherever you'd like, wherever you feel called to go and play your instrument, sing those songs, and it's all for those donations to donate meals. In Spokane, Jared Cottingham, NonStop Local.
Overnight lows tonight dipping down into the mid-40s around Spokane. A little bit cooler, though, up across those northern mountains, where we'll see some of those overnight lows in the low to mid-30s. So keep that in mind. Cover up those sensitive plants. Partly to mostly cloudy skies within the overnight hours. We've been watching a few spotty showers. Those also starting to wrap up, and the winds come down as well. For tomorrow, return to sunshine, lingering showers to the east of us. So for parts of North Idaho over towards Montana, but temperatures bump bumping into the 70s, so closer to our averages for this time of the year. There's one little hiccup as we head into Friday, mainly for the mountains. We'll keep a close eye on that, but sunny, dry, and warm weather is on the way as we head towards the weekend. Now, as we get you into your day on Thursday, for those of you who've got any kind of travel plans, we're continuing to watch this system that is marching across the northern plains. This system looking to deliver the potential of some severe weather and possible tornadic outbreaks. So you can see that line there. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow, and as I zoom in closer to home, system affecting Montana throughout today, continuing to push again into the Dakotas. We've got a bit of lingering activity up towards BC and over towards Alberta, but otherwise we've got sunshine throughout our day on Thursday. And like I said, we've also got much lighter winds and a warm up on the way with highs in Spokane at 73, 72 degrees are expected high in Coeur d'Alene. We've got low 70s from Priest River down through Cheney into Roselia, and then upper 60s expected along Bayview up in North Idaho. Northern mountains tomorrow, upper 70s around Omak. We've got low to mid 70s from Republic over towards Colville at 74 degrees, low into the 70s into the panhandle of Idaho, and then back through the Cascade Valleys tomorrow. We actually do pop into the 80s, 81 degrees in Wenatchee, upper 70s from Grand Coulee down through Moses Lake into Othello, low to mid 70s tomorrow for Davenport into Ritzville, and then for areas over towards Montana. If you're traveling that direction, still a few spotty showers that way. We've got 70-degree temperatures in Kalispell, 72 degrees into the Silver Valley. We'll pop into the low end of the 70s for the Palouse and Grangeville, but about 10 degrees warmer in Lewiston with those highs at 81 degrees for our Thursday. There's that ridge of high pressure sitting just offshore, and as that starts to push inland, it is going to drive up all of that heat our direction. So temperatures bump up into the upper 70s by Saturday, and then we've got 80-degree temperatures to wrap up the weekend and head into next week. The warmest day is on Tuesday with those daytime highs into the 90s. We could actually hit triple digits for our friends in the Tri-Cities and mid to upper 90s for the Yakima Valley.
From the Northern Quest Sports Studio, this is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
Team Egypt has found their temporary home right here in Spokane. The Egyptian national team residing and practicing here in town before heading to Seattle for their first match coming up on Monday and matches beyond that elsewhere. Today, the team holding their only open practice at Gonzaga. AJ Howell was there as the team hit the field in front of fans for the first time.
One of the greatest soccer players is playing right here behind me in Spokane at Luger Field here at Gonzaga. That's, of course, Mohamed Salah. He's not the one we're used to seeing on Luger Field. Gonzaga women's soccer head coach Katie Ben says it's surreal to see this level of play on the pitch that she's so familiar with.
Just watching soccer at the level that they're at, and seeing some of the things that we do as a team too, you know, a little reaffirming of who we are and what we do, but just mostly the experience of seeing this level right in our backyard.
Now, of course, this is all cool whether you're a soccer fan or not. So for the untrained eye, we had to ask Katie what she saw out of this group right now.
They seem relatively at ease, which is part of it. You know, going into the competition they're about to go into, having that level-headedness is kind of what I'm feeling, lightness, which is good and fun to watch.
So it's not just cool that this is happening at Gonzaga. It also means that the men's and women's soccer teams benefit and hopefully benefit from the fans' new interest in the future.
It's great. You know, that's one of the things. I've only been in this role. This will be my third season as head coach, and so really trying to build the culture of what I'm producing here as well is something that I've been working toward, and hoping to build off of this momentum is something that I've been looking forward to.
Reporting at Gonzaga, AJ Howell, SWX.
AJ, thank you. While the first World Cups matches are tomorrow, Egypt won't play for the first time until Monday. They'll face Belgium in Seattle for their first of 3 group stage matches. As far as the U.S. goes, the United States will play for the first time Friday against Paraguay. That match happening in Los Angeles at 6 o'clock Friday night. The NBA Finals continuing tonight. The San Antonio Spurs looking to even the series after taking Game 3 in New York. Game 4 back at the home of the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. But this one would start out all Spurs. They completely dominate the first half, leading by as many as 29 in the second quarter, as it appeared that this series was headed back to San Antonio for Game 5, tied 2-2. The Spurs leading 76-49 at halftime, and the Knicks and all the celebs at courtside stunned at the Garden. But New York would not quit. They trimmed the lead in the third quarter, and here in the fourth, Karl Anthony Towns knocks down a 3. 5 minutes to go, now it's single digits. OG Anunoby open in the corner, and a 4-point game now after that make. Just over 2 minutes to go. Jalen Brunson for 3 is good, and now the lead is down to 1. Taylor Swift loving it. Now 90 seconds to go. Brunson drives. His floater is good. The Knicks take their first lead of the game, and Central Park is in a frenzy. Now, the Spurs would take the lead on 2 free throws. So 5 seconds to go. Knicks have the ball down 1. Brunson going for the game winner. He misses, but Anunoby with the tip-in with 1.2 seconds left. It is pandemonium at Madison Square Garden as the Spurs are unable to get a shot off, and the Knicks pull off the largest comeback in NBA Finals history. They now lead the series 3-1 as they head to San Antonio for Game 5, just 1 win away from an NBA championship. It would be their first in 54 years. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet, the same.
My goodness.
Now let's take a look in New York. This is Times Square, where
crazy.
the celebration is still ongoing. You should have seen it on the broadcast. They had to start moving people out of Madison Square Garden, Morgan. They just absolutely refused to leave. This city has not seen a championship for the Knicks since the 70s. Most of the folks in attendance tonight either weren't Knicks fans or weren't alive yet to see that championship, and now they are 1 win away as it is a party in the Big Apple.
Nobody's going to work tomorrow.
No, calling in sick.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're back right after this. That is all the time we have tonight. We hope you have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Morgan Ashley, Tori Smith, bringing you the content that connects our community.